Welcome everybody to Inside the Jackal's Head. Right now we're joined by the guest, Mr. Stevie Mack is on the show. Welcome to Inside the Jackal's Head, Stevie. It's a pleasure having you on.
Another Chipotle. Hey, dude, check this out. I don't know if you've been watching the news, but lately, as of late, there was a Chipotle. A car ran into a Chipotle on Pico here in Hollywood, right? Ran all up into the motherfucker. I guess they really had to have that burrito. And now, this is ironic. I mean, I just realized this once I got out to look. Here's a Chipotle in Beverly Hills. Motherfucker run all up here. What the hell do they got in Chipotle? They got people running all up into them, to get it. What the hell is that? Huh?
Well, it's a special sauce, man. I tell you, the Chipotle sauce is, it's Martian. It's not human. That thing was made on another world, man. I believe, look, before the 1950s, there was no such thing as Chipotle. I believe the Roswell crash brought Chipotle.
That's why they call you the Jackal. See, we inside.
That's why they call me the Jackal.
Jackal's head. He got all kind of they call theories. I always say that I'm not one of those people who are a what's the word I'm looking for? Always got a plot or a plan or suspecting something.
A schemer?
Going on. No, not a plot but plan, but
because I'm a schemer.
No. It's a person who's always thinking that the Illuminati's up to some shit.
Oh, conspiracy theorist.
Thank you, conspiracy theorist.
Yes.
It's a trip, man, how you can just draw a blank all of a sudden. And I've been saying this word all my life. I say it on my show often. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I am.
Well, what's funny? No, it makes sense. It's funny you mentioned that because I handle a lot of that topic on my show. Like, we talk about conspiracy stuff, ufology, paranormal, 9/11 stuff. I mean, we tackle a little bit of everything on this show. And to be honest, the more I do, shows on these subjects, the less conspiratorial I become. Believe it or not.
Why is that?
Well, it's funny because the more and more you dig into this stuff, the more it falls apart. A lot of it is just people making stuff up.
But some of it holds up, though. Some of it shit holds true because
some of it does, and some of it you got to put so many holes in there, man. It's like Swiss cheese. You know what I mean?
Well, some people get carried away with the conspiracy theory. It's like, all right, let's look at this. All right, two Chipotle's got hit, right? This is some Al Qaeda shit right here. It was a guy named Al. He was a caterer, and see, they called him Al Qaeda, and now he's trying to take down all the Chipotle's one by one with cars. That's some way out bullshit right there. And somebody would fall for that, though.
Yeah. But is it really far fetched that an organization that's out there, like, that's kind of crazy what you were saying there, but it wouldn't be too far fetched for some big corporation like, say, like a Starbucks or something like that to be created by some evil megalomaniac who wants to take over the world, but he needs your money first. So this would be like a perfect way to start. Like, hey, Walt Disney probably had that in mind. You know what I mean? Slowly taking over the world, man.
Let me tell you something else, too. It wouldn't be too far-fetched to think that somebody locally who has a Mexican food restaurant is having all these cars crash into Chipotle to get rid of the competition. So people get paranoid about Chipotle. And only the Chipotle, cars be crashing into them.
I'll tell you what, they opened a couple of Chipotle places here in down south, and the Taco Bells around the area went out of business.
Wow! See, they putting the little guy out.
Yeah, Chipotle is like the new Blockbuster Video for Mexican food.
Yeah. So can't make a run for the border. You got to make a crawl for Chipotle.
Yeah. Now,
so
Stevie,
right here. Go for it.
Let's get into this real quick. I wanted to get a little bit of your background because you've been all over the place, man. Tell the audience a little bit about your show, what you've done. Because, I mean, let's see. Lifetime's Prank My Mom. You've been on NBC, UPN, Last Comic Standing, HBO, SpikeTV, BET. And now, finally, you're on this show, which this has to be the pinnacle of your success right here, right?
Man, this is the one. I mean, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm in 161. The reason why this is the one is because this is what's happening. at this very moment. See, the next moment ain't guaranteed, so make
That's
the
true.
best out of each and every moment. And right now, this is what's happening, baby. This is where I'm at. And in terms of what I've been on and where I'm headed and where I've been, it's been so much stuff. I am a glutton for content, getting in and on content and creating content, because I know our time is limited here on Earth. So I'm trying to get in and on as much as I possibly can. Yep. Honestly, when I try to tell people all the stuff I've been on, I feel either like I'm being a braggart, or I feel like it's unbelievable. Like, this dude is lying, because it's so much. And I forget all the stuff, but I can tell you the latest stuff. How about we do that?
Yeah, let's talk about the
recent stuff.
Go ahead.
The most recent stuff, and I'll start with the very last thing I did, because there's stuff constantly, like, I'm going to the future on you. Tomorrow I'm on the set of I'm the CEO of Fozzy's, which is a new organic fast food restaurant.
Nice.
I am the CEO of that in this commercial. Tomorrow we're shooting that. And I have two auditions tomorrow and an audition the day after that. So let's back up. Just debuted a movie called American Bad Boy, starring Cat Williams, directed by Oba Babatunde, and it is Magic Mike meets Chocolate City meets Empire. So it's all that wrapped in the one. Because Cat Williams plays a dramatic role in this movie. He plays a role that you would think Terrence Howard would be playing. It's not the silly Cat Williams. This is a serious. This is really a good look for him, man. He got some monologues in this movie that are so memorable that I want to memorize them, and because it's stomp down pimp shit. And also,
nice.
I play a character called Reginald, and I have like 5 scenes in the movie, and they're all speaking parts. So this is a good look for me.
Nice, yeah.
Right before that, we released a movie called Expelled, which is now available. Now, instantly, American Bad Boy is available now at Walmart on DVD and at Redbox and on Amazon. Downloadable. It's American Bad Boy. You can just Google that and it'll come up, or Google Bad Boy Movie, a Bad Boy Movie. Cat Williams. Stevie Mack putting it down for the M-A-C-K. Just make sure they get the name right. And then Expelled. I play a person in the movie Expelled. And Expelled is a movie that is targeting the social media crowd, because the star, Dallas Cameron, just won an MTV award for Best Vine person, whatever that means. I mean, he's got like 6 million followers on Vine and 3 million on Twitter, and just like this whole thing.
You know, it's funny. I was talking about that earlier on the show. I never listened to the intro monologue about, how social media has exploded the last 10, 15 years. Can you imagine, you do radio, can you imagine 15 years ago, nobody was mentioning social media on radio? There was no such thing.
Nobody what? 15 years ago?
Nobody was mentioning Twitter, Facebook. There's no such thing. Now it's like every radio show.
It didn't exist.
Now it's like all in your face. It's so important in today's lexicon. They're making movies about social media.
I mean, even 9 years ago, dude, is when I got on YouTube, right? A friend of mine told me, he said, hey, man, go check out this thing called YouTube. Because he was a breakdance. I was doing breakdance videos. I was producing this awesome stuff out of West San Gabriel Valley at the time, where I created a television studio. We were on Charter Communication with a show called Club Beat that I produced. I mean, just, it goes on and on. But he told me, go on this thing called YouTube. I said, what? He said, yeah. So I typed it up. I went on there, and I was just blown away. Like, you could peer into people's lives. Yep. What videos, just all it, and I got hooked, and I just immediately started producing content for YouTube back then. And and what happens with me, Jacko, is that every social media site that pops up, I get on it, and I create a profile, and I immediately start utilizing that. I don't sit around and talk bad. Oh, what is the old MySpace? We want the old Facebook. Remember those people that
I miss my MySpace. Well, you're about 10 years too late there.
Yeah, get with the change. This is what I do. I roll with the change. There's a book called Who Moved My Cheese? #1 bestseller on New York bestsellers list. And it's just about these mice in a rat maze running around, they're getting this cheese right at the end of the maze, and all of a sudden somebody moved the cheese. The whole analogy of the book is about move with the cheese. Don't keep going to the same place looking for it after somebody moved it. You got to move with the cheese in order to capitalize. So with that being said, that's what I do. I move with cheese. I roll with the change. I roll with the new. I'm constantly evolving as we speak. So Expelled broke all kind of records. The movie that I'm in, I play a principal in this movie, a school principal. It's a Ferris Bueller Days Off for today's generation. Done by all social media mavens. And so I play a school teacher who gets shot with a poisonous dart when I'm trying to tell the parents in the conference that their kids expelled. It is funny, man. It's a funny movie, and it broke all kind of records on iTunes as the most downloaded, fastest ever movie in the history of iTunes. It's shot to #1. It's available on Netflix now. It got bumped up to Netflix. They bought it. And so that movie's called Expelled. And before Expelled, I did Mercury Insurance commercial. That's out now. And a Realtor.com commercial that's all over the nation. They just re-upped for another year on that commercial. So that'll be going at the same time when my new commercial for Jardiance, the type 2 diabetes commercial, is about to be released in print and television. So I'll be in magazines and on TV, and that's coming out next month.
So you're going to be the face of diabetes in America.
Well, one of the faces, dude. Have you noticed how many commercials there are for type 2 diabetes now? Which makes me
crazy,
go like,
dude, yeah.
What the hell's going on, right?
Well, it's only in America, too, because remember, America, we're a fat. This is a fat nation, man, and everybody here is going to develop diabetes, apparently.
And heart disease.
And heart disease, yeah. And heart disease. It's amazing. Here, you're a social media mogul. Have you heard of this new social media called TSU? Sue.
PSU? That must be a new one.
T as in Tom, S as in Sam, U as in Universe. Sue.co.
Not yet. This is the first time I heard about that one. I'm going to get on it tomorrow.
Now, check this out. It's actually very innovative. You actually get paid for your posts on this website. Totally legit. I have an account on there. It's very cool looking. It's like Facebook kind of, like that kind of style. It's a social media platform very similar to that. It's a little bit more high-techy. But the cool thing is, the more you post, there's advertising everywhere, just like in Facebook and everywhere else. They actually pay you.
Man, you got to send me that link, man. I'm going to get on that.
Oh, man, I tell you, I think that is going to be the next big thing in social media. And it always keeps moving on and moving on. It's amazing. I'm going to send you a link so you can join the Sue movement.
Please do. Send me that, man, because like I say, I'm getting on everything that's cracking-lacking. Ain't no shame in my game. I'm making it happen, Captain, moving and grooving. And I'm rhyming and timing.
You stay busy, man. I'll tell you what, you stay busy. You've got, 9 movies under your belt now? 8, 9 movies, something like that?
Oh, my God. If you go to my IMDb, you'll see that I have 27 movie credits.
Wow.
Yeah. I've been in film since I was 10, off and on. And it was in the last 8 years that I got serious about it as a career as opposed to just a hobby. And same with my stand-up. I was on Last Comic Standing for 2 seasons. And it just moves on. What I'm doing now is I'm very picky about the parts I take, like Taraji P. Henson. You see Taraji on Empire, she's very picky about the parts she takes, and she winds up getting some really good parts. If you just take anything, some people just want to be on TV just for the sake of being on TV, and I'm not there. I've been on all kind of shows, reality shows. I was on a show called Prank My Mom, hosted by Vivica Fox. That's on the Lifetime channel, and I was one of the pranksters. It was a funny-ass show. It only lasted 1 season. I don't know why. It's so funny, man. But there's all kind of new prank shows coming out, probably. The competition is heavy for that.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah. I've done. So what happens, this is what I do. When I do a type of show, and I'll tell you what I mean by a type of show. When I do a type of TV show, I don't do that show again. For instance, we could say that American Bad Boy is like a hood type of show, a movie, okay?
Right, a hood movie.
Okay, so maybe I'll do another hood movie, but I don't know. It's not so hoodie where it's like a bunch of shoot-'em-up gangster shit. So it's in between that. Like I said, it's Magic Mike meets Chocolate City meets Empire. So it's a black movie, definitely black genre movie. And then I did Expel, which is totally white. It's white 13-year-old teenagers. So I have these type of movies under my belt.
Well, that's great because that avoids getting typecast, which is exactly what an actor like you wants.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly where I'm going.
That's perfect.
You can't pigeonhole me.
Yeah, one of my good buddies is doing something very similar. Carlos Mendez, who's Eva Mendez's little brother. I don't know if you know her, Eva Mendez.
I know who
name.
she is.
Yeah, and
she's
her
a very
brother's
beautiful woman.
Gorgeous lady. Her younger brother's a good friend of mine from high school. We grew up together, and he's doing the same thing. He's doing a lot of different parts. And I asked him, and he said the very same thing you said right now. He said, "I don't want to get typecast." That's exactly what good. And he's a good actor also, but that's what I think good actors always should do. Find the most different role that you could find from the last role you did. This way you could avoid that typecast. Because the last thing you want to do is be asked to do the same role over and over again. That creatively could drain you.
It does. Not only creatively drains you, it pigeonholes you. Certain actors get stuck with the gay role. And I ain't going to say no names, but every time you see a movie and it's the gay guy, it's that one actor. It's like you don't want to be that guy stuck in some role like that. Or even with your weight. Like my weight goes up and down, and lately I've been bodybuilding as much as I can to eliminate the fat because muscle eats fat, right? And so I don't want to be that fat guy, the fat roles. I have some roles where I look heavy set, but I'm not trying to be the fat guy.
You don't want to be like you don't want to be the black Chris Farley in every movie.
Right. Just the fact, because it gets hard. You get typecast, and then you have to be the funny fat friend. I don't want to be that.
It's funny. I'm a heavy set dude also, and it's funny. I got offered a movie role this past year, and I turned it down because of the movie itself, because of what the movie's about. And when I tell you what the movie's about, you're gonna be like, I understand. They offered me the role as the funny fat guy, and I'm a big guy. I admit it. I'm a big guy. And the movie is called Drag Hell. It's about the zombie apocalypse in a drag queen nightclub.
Oh.
Now, mind you, I'm not gay. I have no interest in being around drag queens. It's not something I am familiar with. I don't even know that world, other than Bruce Jenner now.
Especially zombie drag queens, right?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, other than Bruce Jenner, I'm not really familiar with drag queens. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, zombie drag queens fucking dead, big.
It's funny because I know the director. He's a good guy. He's a good friend, and he offered me the role. And I think he's bisexual or whatever. But he offered me the role, and he was like, "Look, I really want you to be in this movie." And then he showed me the script, and I was like, no thanks. I love the zombie genre, but I don't want to be involved in a gay zombie apocalypse in a drag queen club type of movie. And the role that he offered me was,
what would your character be doing?
Well, I wasn't in drag or anything, thank God. I played the drug dealer, that's typecasting already, because this is the third role that I get offered as a drug dealer. I turned them all down. I was offered. It was the fat drug dealer who was kind of a wisecrack, and he is sort of maybe or maybe not dating one of the male drag queens, and he goes to the club to collect money from the other drag queens when the apocalypse breaks out. That's what was pitched to me. I saw the trailer. They actually did a little trailer for YouTube and whatnot for the movie that they shot already. And I see the guy they picked to play the role that I would have, played because they wrote the role for me in particular. And I saw the part, and I'm like, I am so glad I didn't do that movie.
Really? Was it horrible?
Oh, it looks so bad. I'll send you the link so you can check it out. It looks just terrible.
I like to laugh at that. Hey, let me just describe to you what I'm looking at now. I'm going to describe you two things. First of all, okay, what I'm looking at now is I think it's a Porsche, no, it's a Mercedes SUV with a bunch of young Persian guys bumping some hip-hop with the windows down, all loud, and they're in Beverly Hills right here, and they roll.
Definitely virgins.
Before them, there was two young hotties with the bodies walking by with some guy, and I mean, you know how you stare and you don't care that they know you're staring? That's what happened. That's how good they look.
Nice.
I stared, and I didn't care that they knew I was staring. I'm like, yeah, I'm looking. So Beverly Hills is a trip.
You've been to South Beach, you've been to Miami, right? How do you compare this coast to that coast? I
have yet to come to South Beach yet. I haven't been there.
Are you serious?
Been in New York.
Really? You've never been to South Beach? Oh, my goodness.
I got to come down there, man. Fly me down there.
For real, man. We got to put that together and have you come down here.
Yeah, do a comedy show.
Let's go to. Let me ask you about that. You do stand-up comedy. How is that? I did one stand-up comedy attempt 10 years ago. It did not go well. I never went back on stage. I'll admit it. I wasn't very polished at the stand-up comedy.
It's terrifying, isn't it?
Oh, my goodness. Let me tell you something. I've been in front of crowds and no problems. Stand-up comedy was the toughest thing I've ever had to do.
It's one of the hardest things to do in the world. Stand-up comedy.
Completely.
And there was a thing on television, some like one of those shows, 60 Minutes or something, where they did this profile and they put this stress meter on people who worked, right? And the two hardest jobs, the most stressful was stand-up comedian and meter maid, the parking enforcement. You know, people write tickets. Those are the two hardest and most stressful things. Well, let me tell you, stand-up comedy, I used to be terrified before I go on stage, and always ask myself, why am I doing stand-up comedy? What in the hell did I start doing this for? But then I'd get the mic in my hand, and all that would vanish. And it would just go away, and I'd say a few words, and boom, the magic started happening. Now I'm at the point, because I've been doing it since 1990, okay? So now I'm at the point that where before I go on stage, I just say a little prayer, and the prayer is this: Lord, bless me to go out here and to make these people laugh, and to educate them while they're laughing, and most of all, let us all have fun. That's the prayer I say. So once I say a little prayer, and I'm calm then, I go out there now, and as long as I keep it relaxed and conversational, I'm at my best. Because if you're on stage, there's a bunch of nervous energy, the audience feels it, there's a disconnect. You have to have a connection. And each audience is different. Some audiences are full of shit. Okay, you go out there and they're all drunk and loud, and all you could do is be loud back at them. So each audience, I look at stand-up comedy like martial arts. Each fight is different. Each fight is different.
That's a way to describe it, yeah.
Exactly, and you have to prepare yourself for battle. And this is what Bruce Lee said, the master. Master Lee said, you have to have the style of having no style. And when you have the style of having no style, your opponent is thrown off because they don't know where you're coming from. So in comedy, I don't pigeonhole myself to one style. I'm ready for whatever. I go out there, I'll do magic, song, comedy, dance, improv, you know what I'm saying? Mime, whatever I have to do, backflips, breakdance, I'm ready. So it depends on the audience.
Well, imagine
old people.
Imagine it being your first time on stage, right? And you're terrified, and you have one of those crowds that is loud and yelling and drunk.
This is the main thing I remind comedians. If you forget this one thing, you're gonna mess up. The main thing to remember in comedy is have fun. If you stop having fun, now you're serious, and now you're worried.
Yeah, that's true.
If you
start sweating.
It too serious, if you take it too serious, you're gonna mess up because you're judging yourself now. You gotta stop judging yourself and go out there and have fun. If they're loud, get loud with them. Pick somebody out the crowd and have fun with them. Bring them up on stage if they think they know so much. Bring your loud ass up on stage and let me interview you. Whatever. You just got.
You ever done that with a heckler? Brought him on stage and made him part of the
hell
gag?
Yeah! And guess what? As soon as they get on stage, they ain't got shit to say. Now they're in front of everybody.
Now they know how it feels.
Yeah, and you gotta have some snappy comebacks for hecklers. Like you gotta have an arsenal of things to say. Like I'll give you a couple of quick ones. Sir, I don't come down to your job slapping the dicks out your mouth, so, that's one of them. the other one is, look at that head. Last time I seen a head like this, it had a rubber on it. So, you got just some snappy comebacks,
Oh, that's good. What's some of your favorite comedians of all time? Like, who are the guys that inspired you to do some comedy?
That's a tough one. It's like asking me what's my favorite food. I'm a big guy, so I'm like, but growing up, I used to listen to Cheech and Chong, Richard Pryor, Flip Wilson, George Carlin, Steve Martin, and then the modern day comedians, Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, and the rest. Even Cat Williams. Cat Williams' latest stuff has been on point because he seemed to be coming to his senses again, and he said some profound stuff. I like all types of comedians,
He's always been funny, though. Cat Williams' stand-up has always been good. I mean, I haven't seen a bad one yet, to be honest.
Well, sometimes he gets too loud, too profane for people, for certain people. I'll tell you somebody who's really funny. This is a little person. His name is Brad Williams. I don't know if you're familiar with Brad Williams.
Brad Williams.
His stand-up.
I know Tony Cox. No,
I'm gonna say the N word. He's a midget, but he is hilarious. He's like people get him confused with Weed Man, right? Because they look alike. But Brad Williams, he in his voice, he has a voice sort of like Peter Dinklage. It's like he's a little person, but he has a grown man voice. So he doesn't have a little midget voice. But he is so fucking funny, dude. He wears like a tie and a vest when he's on stage. And his whole routine is about being a little person. But it's hilarious. And I met him before at John Lovett's Comedy Club where he had his podcast up there. But I didn't know he was so funny in stand-up. Well, once I seen his stand-up special, I believe it's on HBO or Showtime right now. It's called Brad Williams, something, a little like life-size bites or something like that. Little bites or small bites.
Bite-sized life.
Bite-sized comedy. So he is hilarious. So I like a lot of comedians, a lot of different comedians. And those are the ones who inspire me. The ones who inspire me, Dave Chappelle. I met Dave Chappelle before he became famous. Yeah. And Cat Williams too, a lot of guys. Chris Tucker. We all run together. And so those guys inspire me. I like smart comedy. I like comedy that makes you think. But also sometimes this comedy is just an all-out fool. Now go ahead, Jack. You was about to say something.
No, I was going to say, it's funny. I knew Dave Chappelle was going to be a star when I saw the movie Half Baked in theaters when it came out.
Really?
I was one of the, I don't know if I was one of the few, but I went with friends. We saw it in theaters, laughed my ass off, and I was like, this Chappelle guy, he's going to be big. This guy's going to be really big one day. And then
let me tell you
Chappelle show happened. Amazing.
That's tight right there, dude. A dude just rode by on an electric bike with fluorescent tires. That was awesome. Okay, nice. That was another sighting in Beverly Hills. So I met Dave Chappelle. I was at the Comedy Store one night, and what I used to do when I used to play the Comedy Store a lot back in the 90s, I would go across the street to what is now, I don't know if it was the Mondrian back then. I think it was the Mondrian Hotel where the Sky Bar is. Yeah, you gotta be like really famous to get in there now. But I used to go over there and relax in the bar area. And before I go on stage, so I went over there one night and talking to the bartender, and he said, "Do you know a guy named Dave Chappelle?" I go, "No." He said, "Yeah, he's in town doing a movie, blah 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 blah." And I'm like, and then he walks in, right, and he sits down. He said, "Oh, here he is, right here." And so I introduced myself. We started talking. I said, "You doing a movie?" He goes, "Yeah, man, I'm doing this movie with this Mel Brooks guy, man." Really?
Robin Hood, Men in Tights, yes.
He said it's called Robin Hood, Men in Tights. And so this is when he was making Robin Hood, Men in Tights is when I met him. And we started talking, and then I invited him out to some other comedy shows. I got his number. And I started getting him on some stages in L.A. He didn't know nobody over here, so I would take him and go, "Hey, man, this dude's name is Dave, and he's funny as hell, man." They put him on stage, and he'd rip it. And that's how that happened.
Wow, no kidding. So, in other words, you're partly responsible for his success.
Well, actually, God is responsible for his success. I'm just a conduit for whatever. I'm partly responsible for your success. If that's the case, Jack
I'll give you full credit. I'll give you full credit if I blow up.
And you remember Stevie Mack was on this show? That's what
did it. That was a catalyst for the explosion that is the Jackal Center. Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah, man. Hey,
but tell me about your radio show, the Stevie Mack Show. Tell us a little bit more about your radio show.
Oh, the Stevie Mack Show comes on Monday through Thursday at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I cover pop culture, current events. I used to do a lot of celebrity interviews, and I stopped doing that because people was tuning in to hear me. And I said, "Oh, they want more me? Y'all ass is out." So I stopped doing interviews, and I just started doing all Stevie Mack. I do several different characters on my show, sort of like Phil Henry. I do weird news. Woo,
it's funny you mentioned Phil Henry. I have a character voice that I do because of Phil. He's a god to me, Phil Henry. And in fact, it's funny. Phil Henry, there's 4 people that got me involved in radio that are the reasons why I got into radio. Phil Henry, Art Bell, George Rodriguez, and Neil Rogers. They got me into radio. I know George Rodriguez is a good friend of mine. Met Neil, briefly, and he passed away, a few years ago. I'm working now with Art Bell on Dark Matter Radio Network, his radio station, which is funny. Phil Hendry is my all-time favorite radio comedian. He's my all-time favorite radio personality. That dude is the most talented radio person I've ever heard in my entire life.
Isn't he awesome, man?
Amazing.
Awesome?
And, it's funny, as a tribute, when I started doing my show about 6 years ago, I came up with a character voice in tribute to Phil Hendry, and I even sent him a thing saying I'm doing a character in tribute to you because I think you're amazing. And the character's name is Pete Dickinson, which is a riff of Bud Dickman, his character. And Pete, he kind of talks like this, a little bit like Kermit the Frog style. And
I heard his character on his show, yeah.
Pete, and this is the first time I'm going outside the veil and revealing the character name here as a character.
Really?
I've never mentioned it as a character. It's always been like Pete is a real person. That's how I've always dealt with him. This is the first time I actually talk about Pete as a character. But it's funny. Phil and I, for a while, were kind of friendly on Facebook. He messaged me a couple times. He saw a couple of my videos and stuff. And I was like, this is amazing. One of my idols is, friendly with me now. And he's, interacting back and forth with me. And then one day, a couple of my friends, asked me, who's this Phil Hendry? And they became friends of his on Facebook. They started following along. He friended them because he was friends with me and blah, blah, blah. About a year passes by, okay? And one of my friends is like, oh, did you see what Phil Hendry posted on my wall? And I was like, what? And I said, no. And he goes, look, he answered something that I had posted. And I went in, I couldn't find what he had said. So I'm looking, and I can't find Phil's post. And I tried to go to Phil's page, and he had blocked me.
Phil
Hendry, he blocked me from Facebook.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the hell did I do? What could I have possibly done to upset Phil Hendry?
Yeah.
And I asked my friend, he's like, what do you mean you can't see it? He was dumbfounded. Mind you, he only knew of Phil Hendry and who he was because of me. There's dozens of fans of this show and friends of mine who I've told about Phil over the last couple of years, and they've become friends of his on Facebook, and they've messaged them because of my show, because they've heard him through me. And the funny thing is, a bunch of my friends are still friends with him, and I'm blocked, and I have no idea why. It's been a year at this now. Messaged them, asking
you don't know why.
To this day, we don't know why. I messaged them asking them, hey, Phil, what's going on? Why'd you block me? We were cool. Didn't reply. Never got an answer back. And then, and this is funny, the same person who booked you on this show, Angel, Heavenly Angel, she reached out to Phil to have him on the show. And she was, she sent him an email saying that she would like to have him on one of our shows, this and that. He said yes. He agreed to do the show and be a guest. And then the next day he was like, oh, wait, I can't do it. I'm busy. Or something. And then he just completely ignored the conversation from that point on. And I'm thinking, well, he said yes tentatively at first because he didn't know who it was. And then he saw my page and was like, oh, that guy. Yeah, screw him. I don't want to be on his show. That's what I'm thinking happened. And until this day, I have no idea why Phil's pissed at me. I'm even a member on his website. I pay the guy for his audio for crying out loud. So I have no clue. Phil, whatever I did, man, I'm sorry. Whatever.
I'm just kind of a conspiracy theorist, and so my theory is that he got wind of your character and said, this guy's stealing my stuff.
No, but the thing is, I told him about the character early on, and he thought it was funny, and he thought it was cool.
Yeah, then. That was when you were friends on Facebook, and right after that, he blocked you, right?
It was a while after that, like maybe a year after that, he blocked me. A year and a half after that.
He just let it settle in. It had to take time to sign. He's like, how many times is he going to do my character? I'm blocking that. And he probably did it in one of his characters. No, I'm going to block his ass.
Yeah, probably Bud Dickman was like, yeah, Phil, they're imitating me again on his show.
Or he could be confusing you with somebody else and blocking you, or who knows, man? Who knows? To this day, blocked by Phil Hendry.
And the funny thing is, Phil and Phil, George Rodriguez, Neil Rogers, Art Bell, all these guys came up together in the 90s on WIOD here in Florida. They know each other. Phil Hendry and George and Neil were really good friends. And it's funny, around the time period when I found out that Phil had blocked me, he was on George Rodriguez's radio show, and they agreed to do a bunch of stuff together on his network, SoFloRadio.com, which, by the way, also broadcasts this show every week. And he agreed to do some stuff there, maybe do a show there, blah, blah, blah. Then I find out I get blocked, and then when I reached out to George to ask him what was going on, if he knew anything, George was like, dude, I haven't heard from Phil in days. He's like completely ignoring me also.
Wow. That's strange.
So it's weird. Like that. I don't know. Whatever we did, Phil, I'm sorry. But when it comes to radio, though, there is not much better than Phil Hendry.
Yeah, man. He does. Well, if you hear Stevie Mack, you'll be like, damn.
Oh, I've
So I
heard Stevie
do.
Mack. It's
You know
damn.
my
It's good.
characters?
Yeah, I've heard a few of them, of course.
Montel Jackson, Big Mike, and Reverend Al.
You want to give the audience a little taste of the characters?
Okay, so we're going to discuss the Confederate flag removal in South Carolina, right? And this is a hot topic that's going on right now. So let's go to my senior analyst, Montel Jackson, first. Montel, what do you think about the whole removal of the Confederate flag down in South Carolina?
Well, first of all, I just want to say this. Well, it's a great thing that they're removing it, but a lot of people have made a big deal about it. I mean, in all respects, it doesn't represent everything that everybody thinks it does. It represents to some people the Civil War. What do you know? To some people, it represents racism. But at the same time, you got to just let people be people.
Well, thank you, Montel. Montel is a conservative, by the way, everybody.
Yep, I used to be a Republican Tea Party member.
You almost said T-Bird.
Yep, I didn't say it, did I?
So anyway, we have Big Mike here. Big Mike is our political analyst. Big Mike, what's your take on the Confederate flag?
Well, thank you very much, Stevie Mack. And first of all, I want to give a shout-out to the Jackal and to everybody listening on his radio show. But politically, this is a big, big thing. Now, a lot of people are trying to say that the removal of the Confederate flag doesn't mean anything in terms of removing racism from America, but it's a damn good step in the right direction. I mean, a lot of people equate the Confederate flag to the Nazi flag with the Jewish people. So bringing that flag down is not only going to be good, but the whole thing, you got to think about it too, is that it's a lot of political grandstanding because it's happening during an election season. This is Big Mike. I'm a student on that.
Well, thank you very much, Big Mike, Montel Jackson. And now, Reverend Al. Reverend Al is a civil rights activist. He's a spokesman. He speaks out. He has a strong opinion. Reverend Al, let us know, what do you think about the removal of the Confederate flag in South Carolina?
Well, first of all, let me just say this, Stevie Mack. You have been doing a fabulous job going on various shows, radio shows, TV shows, and everything, and trumping up the whole thing. You're tooting your own horn. That flag had to come down, but it had to come down at the hands of white folks. You can't have no black folks going down there trying to pull that flag, or they would have shot them dead. Try to have a black person. Now, somebody spray painted Black Lives Matter on a Confederate monument outside of the Capitol, and they covered that up with a piano wire and a tarp. So, but if you have it, that's the only way that flag was going to come down is at the hands of white folks. And so this is a good thing. I think it's a good thing. And now, eBay, if you know eBay, just removed all sales of Confederate flags from eBay. But there's other people who are selling them by the droves now, because who the hell buying all these flags? That's what I want to know.
I have no idea. But that was Montel Jackson, Big Mike, and the Reverend Al.
That's awesome. Oh, that is so awesome. You can just have a conversation with yourself every night. That's great.
Three distinctly different characters.
Yeah. You know, it's funny when you do your show. If you do the shows like we do, the audio is epic. With the microphones, it's always great audio. But if you call in with your cell phone, it'll play so much better. I don't know if you've tried that already.
I haven't did that. Interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah, I did a show with a character voice a couple of years ago. With the character's name was Mr. Johansson, and I did it with a cell phone. I would mute my mic every time I would speak as Mr. Johansson. Then I would unmute and speak, into the mic. I had to do it very quickly, and I got the idea from watching film. And it worked beautifully. When you hear it, it really completely sells it as two distinctive, different people, even more than just regularly doing it.
I am going to have to do that. Thank you for that hot button tip.
It completely adds to the ambiance. By the way, Mr. Johansson, just so you know who he was a school teacher down in Miami, Florida, in a high school, and he was putting on a play It was actually a historical play dealing with Nazi Germany, of all things, and he was using only black and Latino kids to play the Jews and the Nazis.
Interesting.
And he was he was a German American named Mr. Johansson, and the whole skit was that he had bought an actual oven where the Jews were cooked.
Shit.
And he bought it on eBay for $25, and he's using it in the play.
Wait, he bought an oven that the Jews were cooked in on eBay for $25. That's all it cost?
$25, and he was using it in the play, and there was an accident. One of the kids got hurt, and one of the test runs for the play, but everything was going to be okay. And the whole episode was he's trying to confront rumors that people were talking about the play and stuff because of the accident. Dude, we went on, me and my buddy.
Wait. You said one of the kids got hurt. Did they get cooked?
One of the kids got hurt in the oven. Yes, he got hurt in the oven. He didn't get cooked, but he got hurt in the oven. One of the Latino kids got hurt, and we had people going on this for like an hour. No joke. We had an hour. We kept this up. We had people calling in. They were checking Google for this Mr. Johansson to see if he really existed. People were calling in all upset, and for like an hour, I knew what Phil Hendry felt doing his show for that 1 hour because that's how upset people got with that one character. And it was a character that me and my friend Brandon both created. We were talking about doing this for a while because we were both big Phil Hendry fans. And this is way before I even started doing online radio as seriously as I am doing it now. This is on the first year when I started messing around on internet radio. In fact, this was on what, I don't know if you're familiar with, Blog Talk Radio.
That's where I'm at, Blog Talk Radio.
That's where you're at, exactly. That's where this was at, on Blog Talk Radio. Same spot.
Wow. And how many shows do you have in the can now, over here where you're at now?
Well, see, this show started on Blog Talk Radio back in 2008. Well, 2009, around there. Right now, this show is about, let's see, almost 240 episodes in. 250 episodes in there. Yeah.
240 episodes.
And that's this one show. I have another show that I do on Art Bell's network, on Dark Matter Digital Network. And that is a show that I started doing about a year after I started this show with a bunch of my other friends. We're about 300 episodes in on that one. We lost about 150 episodes when we left one network because they didn't want us to play the videos, because it was a video format first and then it became audio. So we lost a bunch of the earlier video stuff, and we had to kind of reinvent into an audio world. But we're about 300 episodes deep into that one. So yeah, I've been doing this for a minute. Not as good as you, I'll admit. Your show is awesome, and you do this multiple nights a week. Also, you do your show 4 or 5 nights a week, right?
Stevie Mack Radio started out as an hour-long show, one night a week at midnight. That's how I started out, and then I switched up to coming on at noon for 1 hour, and then I switched up to coming on 4 nights a week for a half hour. And so, as of now, I'm at 1,231 episodes.
Wow.
1,323 episodes, I'm sorry. 1,300.
Wow. See, I don't know if I could ever pull that off, multiple 4 or 5 nights a week. That's a lot of radio. That's not easy. That's a lot of content. But the way you're doing it, though, it really is creative because, like you said, you don't have any guests on anymore. It's just you doing you, basically, on air.
This is what I do. I don't book guests on the show, but I tell my friends in entertainment, I say, if you want to come on, call into the show, and I'll bring you on for a minute to talk about what you're doing, but that's about it. You get about a minute, 60 seconds, Because, like any television show, 60 seconds is a long time. That's a commercial, right?
Yeah,
so you can call in, and you can tell us what you're up to. And but I don't book. This is what I used to do. I used to do like what you do: create posters for each show and promote the hell out of it, and get the. A lot of times people would cancel out on me and different stuff like that. So then I started saying, okay, I'll take the shows in advance. You could pre-tape them, and have them all ready and lined up. And then I was like, no, everybody's going to Stevie Mack 4 nights a week. And I reserved Thursday night for to bring on Big Mike, Montel Jackson, and Reverend Al. But sometimes, if it's a hot-button issue, they'll come on at any given time. Like tonight we did that. They'll be on my show probably tonight to talk about that same issue. Recently we talked about. Hold on, let me go to my. I have my notes here. I keep my notes on my smartphone, so whenever something comes up, We talked about President Obama dropping the N-word on Mark Marone's past podcast. Talked about P. Diddy attacking the UCLA assistant football coach.
That was a great story, wasn't
it? the movie The Gallows, really, The Gallows, this new movie. A hang rope, really, and this time, a hang rope, is that something you really want to come out with? So we talked about that. Rachel Dolezal, black or white, the NAACP president. We talked about her. And just a whole, the two New York City murderers are still on the loose. We don't know if they're in Canada or Mexico or at the local 7-Eleven. We just don't know where they're at. So talk about that.
Now, out of all those stories, which is the craziest one to you?
That I've had on my show?
Yeah, well, the ones you just mentioned right now, which is the craziest one?
Of course, these escaped convicts, because don't nobody know where the hell they at.
I was going to go with P. Diddy, the P. Diddy story. That's just bizarre.
No, that's common with him. They always beating up somebody and pulling guns. That ain't nothing new.
You know that while he was hitting that man, he kept saying, "Take that, take that, take that."
Let me ask you, when you heard about that, were you shocked? Or did you go, "Oh my God"? Did you go, "Oh yeah"?
Not at all. Not at all. Well, being that it's P. Diddy, it was a little bit shocking. I will say.
Have you forgot about his gun charge?
Yeah, but I don't.
Huh?
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't see P. Diddy, and I don't see like tough guys. You know what I mean? So he doesn't he doesn't ooze a tough guy persona.
Well, this is what happens. This is what happens. The more money you get, the more powerful and invincible you feel.
That's true.
You feel like you could do stuff, and you're above the law. So that's what happens. I mean, even guys who can't look at Justin Bieber. He can't whoop nobody's ass, and he's always up in people's face because he got money. You know, it's like
he's got great bodyguards
and big ass body.
Yep.
Big ass bodyguard. P. Diddy, okay, he might not be a tough guy, but he picked up a kettlebell.
See, that's what makes it even funnier. It's P. Diddy with a kettlebell.
I mean, were you shocked when you heard, Suge Knight's in prison for running over two people? Was that a shock to you?
No, and honestly, it wasn't shocking because Suge Knight was involved in that. It was shocking because he went to jail for that. Because honestly, if you look at the video, that's self-defense.
No, man, listen, Suge had an opportunity to back up and back all the way up on the Compton Avenue and drive away.
But here's where I counter that. Those guys had guns.
That's what said.
No, they had guns. You could see it in the video. Like one of them picks up the gun and takes it from the dude who's dead on the floor. The other guy picks up the gun from his hand and walks away with it. He had a gun in his hand. If I'm in a car,
know if that was gun or if that was dope.
Well, either way, if there's guns and if they prove that there was guns in the scenes, and I think one of the guys even mentioned they had guns. The guy who got ran over and survived, he mentioned they were beating him up pretty badly and they had guns. Like he even said it, so it wasn't like this was a joke. If there's guns in the scene and people are pointing guns at me and one of them might go off or something, I'm running for my life. I'm getting in a car. If you're in my way, I'm running your ass over. End of story.
Here's the thing about
I understand, Suge.
Here's the thing about Suge. He backed
I understand.
Up, right? Okay, so wait a minute. He ran the guy over first, right?
What was he supposed to get off the car and pull his body out of the way?
Here's the first thing that happened. He backed up, right? And he ran the guy over when he was backing up. Why didn't he just keep on backing up and going on to Compton Avenue and getting the hell out of there? He backed up, and then he went forward and ran the guy over again. So my thing is this, and this is what the defense is going to say. He could have backed all the way up out of the scene and kept going. Because if you know that location, I know the location. It's a corner hamburger stand. The street he was backing up onto, he could have kept backing up onto Compton Avenue and got the hell out of there. But it didn't. He backed up and went forward again. He wasn't surrounded. There were people on the left and right of him. There were people to the left. And if the guy to the left had the guns, he was driving into danger and not away from danger. So it just don't make sense. Sure, if the guy who he hit had a gun, man down. He already put him down. Keep going and get out of there. Don't come running his ass over again. That is what got him. And that guy ain't even the one who died. It's the other guy who died, who was trying to get out the way. Always the innocent bystander, right?
That's the way it works. Let's tell everybody real quick how they can find your show again. It's on Block Talk Radio, but how can they track you down? You have a main website you can give the audience.
You better believe it. I ain't hard to find. Stevie Mack, STEVIEMACK.com. Everything's at StevieMack.com. My Twitter, my Facebook, my Instagram, my radio show, my latest movies where I'm performing stand-up at, everything's at StevieMack.com. And that's important to have a central location, incidentally, for those of you listening, for somebody to find you. Google Stevie Mack, StevieMack, and the first 30 pages is about me. So that's what's up.
That's what's up. So, Stevie, before I let you go, good idea or bad idea? Free Suge Knight T-shirts.
Bad idea.
I'm gonna tell Zazzle.com to return the order. Don't worry.
No, if you had don't free Suge Knight, that'd be a good T-shirt.
That would be a good T-shirt. Yes.
Come on, he got Tupac killed, right? So,
yeah. So that's a sensitive subject right there for me. Yeah,
that's a whole other show.
Yeah, I'm a big Tupac fan, man. That's a touchy subject right there.
Yeah, look. Are you a Tupac fan or a Suge Knight fan?
No, I'm a Pac fan.
Yeah.
Tupac, dude. Hell yeah. You know, it's funny because I'm doing work, and in fact, I'm doing a little music and doing the website for. I don't know if you're familiar with Digital Underground. You know them?
Yeah, I'm familiar with DU, man.
Oh yeah, man. My boy Money B. Sex Packets, exactly. Money B is doing his own radio show, the Money B Going Way Back show, and I'm redoing his website. He's joining our network here on PSN Radio and doing some work with him. Really cool dude, man. And, you know, it's funny knowing him, he was one of the people that got Tupac in the game, so to speak. I haven't had that conversation yet. I've done it for a bit now, about Tupac, because I'm kind of like always like, should I ask? Should I not ask? And then I started watching a lot of the YouTube videos that he has from his show, and he talks about Pac a lot in the videos, and I'm like, well, I don't even need to ask anymore. There, answers are right there. But it's funny to be in the presence of a person who was there when Tupac came into the game, and he is not fond of Suge Knight at all. Let's just leave it at that.
Hey, everybody do what you like. From a blue, black, southerner, ditch digger, or governor, everybody do what you like. Come on, Digital Underground, man.
Yeah, baby. DU, right
That's
there.
a whole other show. We can do
Completely.
this again, my friend.
Definitely will. Stevie Mack, you're awesome, man. Thank you so much for being on the show tonight. And just for that, I'm gonna take off tonight with a little bit of Soulja Boy. Ha 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 ha. Stevie Mack, everybody.
Oh, yes, they mean I am what they ought to be. Ha ha ha. Oh no, they won't bother me. These honeys be calling me. Oh yes, they